Happy Friday, folks. It is time to talk about some Detroit Lions rumors for you guys today. And in this video, we're going to talk about a player. An article talked about the Lions should look to trade for. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on that. Should the Lions cut Levi Onwuzurike and extend Jonah Jackson and Jared Goff? But before we get into today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like button. It does help out. Let's go. Heavy.com was heavily invested in talking about a player that the Lions should trade for, and they're talking about that the Lions should get Levi Wallace, the cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They said Mosley is still recovering from a torn ACL, and injury has cost him significant time over the course of his career. He was sidelined by knee problems and a high ankle sprain in 2021, while a concussion and hamstring strain that kept him off the field in 2020. If Mosley gets hurt again, the Lions would rely on Jerry Jacobs or Will Harris as outside corner. It says Wallace isn't a world beater, but he was a 45-game starter for the Bills from 2019 to 21 before joining the Steelers last season. He's consistently played above his traits and gets in the way at incoming throws, breaking up 23 passes over the past 2 seasons. To be honest with you, my personal opinion on this is the Detroit Lions are not trading for Levi Wallace. I don't believe this is going to happen. Usually I do graphics, I talk about the player, and I give you legitimate information about the contract. Here, I'm not doing that because this trade is somewhat ridiculous. They got to rely on Jerry Jacobs. Well, Jerry Jacobs is a good player, so that's not a bad thing. The Lions are set at the secondary position. This is one position the Lions don't need to worry about. The Lions do not need to trade for a cornerback. The Lions don't need to get another secondary player unless a player goes down, because right now Emmanuel Mosley is pretty much good to go for training camp. And if he is injured for some time, you still got Jerry Jacobs in there getting it done. Lions secondary is fine if you ask me. But guess what? That is just me. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, maybe I'm not the person who gets it right a little bit, so I got a question for you in the comments below. Should the Detroit Lions trade for Levi Wallace? T for trade or P for pass? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And what the trade was, it was for a day 3 pick. So that would be it, and I think it's not going to happen. Question now for you in the comments section and how we got this thing going. Should the Detroit Lions cut Levi Onwuzurike, who has not lived up to any bill for the Lions here? 2nd round pick 2 years ago. This will be year 3 for him. He's always injured all the time. But can he return? There was some positive signs from that in OTAs and minicamp. Well, look, we're not going to cut him right now, but I do believe they eventually do cut Levi Onwuzurike with an injury settlement because he did have a fusion. His injury has shown that it is significant, and he misses plenty of time for the Detroit Lions. By cutting Levi Onwuzurike, you would open up a roster spot, maybe for a player like Shelby Harris, who is a free agent defensive tackle that can actually give you production on the field rotation. Because right now, let's be honest here. Does anyone really think Levi Onwuzurike is going to come back and be some dominant defensive tackle? I don't think so, and I don't think anybody in the front office believes that. I don't believe the coaching staff believes that. Yes, he's shown that he could stretch in OTAs and minicamp, but that is not even close to the work you're going to have to do in training camp and battle and get completely strong, get back in football shape, and be able to produce at a high level with a position where you got to put on a lot of weight and take a lot of beating in the trenches at the defensive tackle position. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be frank with you. I think they should cut Levi Onwuzurike. I know it's a 2nd round pick. I know that sucks. It's terrible because we have a high pick like a 2nd rounder that we can't have on the field. But at this point, The best ability is availability. Sometimes you just got to cut your losses and let things go. It just is what it is, and that's how it works sometime for teams. And you just got to cut your losses, and I think this is one that you're going to have to take a knife to, scissors to, an axe to, a saw to. Hell, you could even throw it into a machine that just tears everything apart. You can put it in a wood chipper if you have to, and just cut the losses there with Levi Onwuzurike. So the question here for you is, should the Detroit Lions cut Levi Onwuzurike? You put C for cut or K for keep. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this one, C or K. Here we go. Should the Detroit Lions look to extend quarterback Jared Goff right now or right before the 2023 NFL season? That is posted there on Pride of Detroit, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this one. I don't believe they should extend Jared Goff before this season. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Let this season play out. Just let it play out, because you have 2 years. It's not like it's 1 year. If it's 1 year, that's different. You got 2 years. Yes, the benefits of extending Jared Goff right now is it will probably be cheaper now than it would be after this offseason. With that said, you have him on a cheap deal right now with an opportunity to win the NFC North right now. We have cap space that we can use before the trade deadline, or if there's an injury at training camp, or again, before the trade deadline, to where you can acquire a player and get this team better, whether it be on offense or defense. And you have the opportunity for Goff to prove himself if he can duplicate what he did last year, or even better, to make some money. Or what if he gets injured or he falls back? That's the benefits of not extending him right now. You drafted Hendon Hooker in round 3 just in case. So for me, no, it doesn't make a lot of sense right now to extend him, and they don't have to. Now, if there's 1 year left in the deal, that is a different situation. And maybe you can do some sort of 3-year deal. It wouldn't be some massive deal, some 5-year deal that would kill it. And right now, we just don't know. And quarterbacks are getting big money, so you would probably have to fork over what Daniel Jones got, which was $40 million a year, which I think is ridiculous. That's something that can really hurt the franchise for the long haul. Another question that was in for Pride of Detroit is, should the Detroit Lions look to extend Jonah Jackson, the left guard? And I say yes, they should absolutely go ahead and extend Jonah Jackson for the Detroit Lions. He has been on the field for the Lions consistently. He is a good guard. He's not a great guard. He's not going to command, the top dollar for guard. It's going to be a good price because he is a good guard. Maybe it's between 10 and 16, but it's not going to be some insane price for the Detroit Lions. And he's a young player. He's worked out. Go ahead and do it. And it's not a position that's going to crush you by any means. It's going to go ahead and benefit the team long term. And then you got Taylor Decker under contract, Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow were question marks at that right guard position. And you got Penei Sewell. And maybe after this season, if they wanted to look maybe to get a tackle, if they wanted to move off from Taylor Decker, they could do that. They don't have to. They would have options on the offensive line. I think that's a smart thing to do. Sorsdale, he could be the future right guard for Detroit. Then you got your guard sealed up for multiple years. Everything is looking good upon that offensive line. I understand that we have a lot invested in the offensive line, and sometimes you don't want to put that type of capital in there. But right now, that's our bread and butter. That's who we are. The Detroit Lions are a team built in the trenches with great offensive line play. And it benefits Jared Goff, and it benefits Hendon Hooker, if he's in there, whoever. The offensive line is something that you want to have continuity with. It's why we've had issues with Halapoulivaati Vaitai unable to play for last year because the continuity was off. You had to bring in someone else, or Brevin Brown, and this and that. So you bring in Jonah Jackson, who has been reliable. Has been a good staple for the Lions. Give him the money. There's nothing wrong with that one. Absolutely nothing wrong with Jonah Jackson to get this guy the money he so well deserves. And the Lions are sitting pretty right then and there. So give me your thoughts on this. Would you guys sign Jared Goff to a contract extension? Put S for sign or P for pass? I want to know your thoughts. I guarantee you it's going to be about 50-50 on this one. You got the Goff fans that's going to say, absolutely, go ahead. Re-sign Jared Goff to a 5-year, 6-year deal, millions of dollars. He's done it. Then you're going to have the Goff haters that say, absolutely not. Hendon Hooker's the future. Don't worry about Jared Goff. We want a cheap deal for a rookie. And then you got people like myself who's more of, let's just wait and kind of see, because he's got 2 years left on his deal. There's no real rush right now. I think that's, to me, the best solution. But, hey, I am just one guy. So let me know your thoughts on this one. I cannot wait to see it. Anytime you talk about Jared Goff, the fans go ape good and ape bad. And it's always a fun time to see the conversations rolling through. We're dropping videos every single day on my channel, except for Sunday until the season starts, and we're doing the live stream. So make sure you hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. It does help out. Bye.